So controlling your calendar is actually really important. We want to make sure that you feel like you are booking the parties on the dates that you want, on nights you want to party, not anybody's birthday or, oh shoot, I've already done 3 this week, I'm gonna do another one, but then I don't have another one for 2 weeks. So this video is essentially how to control your calendar. Now, there's a bunch of different ways that you can keep track of your things. There's electronic, there's paper. I highly suggest that whatever your open date sheet is, know your open dates and know the dates that you want to work. So off the top of your head, you need to have at least 3 dates that you're like, your top 3, these are the dates I want parties. And the reason that I say 3 of them is because those are the 3 options you'll send to people when they ask about having a party randomly, or just always being prepared, knowing that these are the 3 dates that you want to book a party. Now, it might not always be the 3 closest dates. It might be, these are the 3 because I want to do a party every single Wednesday because that's when I don't have my kid, or whatever it is. If you know that there are specific days of the week that you want to party, those are going to be the ones that you do. If you are like, I want to do 1 party every other week, or I want to do 4 parties every other week on weeks I don't have my kid, or I know that my kid has practice Tuesdays and Thursdays, so I don't want to book parties on those days. Perfect. Make them not open dates for you. If somebody wants to book a party on that date and you're like, I'm sorry, I'm full, that's what you say. You don't have to say that it's your kid's soccer game or whatever it is. You can say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm full that day. How about this date instead? I don't usually do Tuesdays and Thursdays. Why don't we look at a Wednesday, Monday, Friday? That's usually the easiest way to go about it, is you give them the dates that you want. You don't just give them this big thing to look at. I have an example. You don't give them this big, like, first of all, your calendar should not be this big. But with a million things to choose from, you want to have something for them to choose from that you know, like, this is December. I know that I'm not doing parties these days in December. And it might not be, but I know exactly what 3 days I want to party. I really, really want to party on December 2nd. I want that party out to Monday. And it's only one of 2 Mondays I have open. And I like to party on Mondays. So it works best with me and my family. It works best with Eric's schedule. So I like to do parties on Mondays. So when you're getting ready to book for a certain month, I want you to look and really look at your calendar and go, this would be the best schedule for me. I would rather book a party on Mondays and Wednesdays throughout this entire month. Those are the ones that I want to do. Or if you're like, oh, I have things going on every single weekend except for this weekend, then cool, only book that weekend and know which weekend you're available ahead of time. It's also really important seasonally to control your calendar. So we often suggest that you don't book parties on the weekends during the summer, only because in Iowa, they crazy do things on the weekends, right? And then you get into fair season where there's a concert every single weekend night in one part of the state or another. So knowing when Hawkeye games are, knowing when sports teams in your area are, knowing when there's a concert in your area, knowing when there's a fair in certain areas. I keep track of most of Iowa's fairs and write them down on my calendar for a certain month, because if I'm booking a party in the Quad Cities, I need to know when their fairs are. If I'm booking a party in Des Moines, it's not going to be during Iowa State Fair. Absolutely not. So knowing if they have to have a weekend, then it can't be a weekend that they have a fair. Same for Iowa City during Hawkeye season. Also, like, make sure that if you're doing a party on a Hawkeye day, that it's people who aren't avid watchers, right? And that they know their friends aren't. So they might not be going to a concert, but their friends might be going to a concert. So you don't want to run into those issues. I usually say, and this is the verbiage that I give them, oh, weekends are usually super busy for people during the summer, so why don't we check out a Monday or Wednesday? Which one of those usually work best for you? And they go, okay, because you're the expert, right? You're the one who knows that weekend parties might not be the best. Now, if the only time you can do parties as a consultant is on weekends, you book those weekend parties. But you need to make sure that your hostess coaching is on point during the summer, because people are super distracted with boats and warm and pool and beaches and drinks. So you want to make sure that you're on point with your hostess coaching, and that you plan to maybe do a double during a Saturday, do one in the afternoon and one at night. But you can control your calendar, and we want to make sure that you feel like you're in charge. When you are giving dates to ladies, you give them 3 options. You say, I have the 14th, 17th, or 18th, which one works best for you? If none of them work, they'll tell you. But if you give them those 3 days to choose from, they're more likely going to pick one of those 3 dates that you actually want to book. But if you hand them an open calendar with all these dates, first, it doesn't look like you're busy. And you want to look like you're in high demand, but still accessible, which is a really hard, like, fine line to run. But this is how you do it. Is you give them those 3 dates, and they're like, oh, I don't, but I was talking to my friends, does this date work? And if it works for you, perfect. You'd be like, oh, it's actually my only Saturday I have left, or it's my only Tuesday I have left. And they'll be like, oh, okay, perfect. If it honest to God doesn't work for you, you'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm already full that night. I have this one and this one, and give them 2 more options, right? But not 4 more, not 5 more. Don't list out your entire open date sheet, because a confused mind says no. So if you give them all of these options, they're like, I don't know. It's also really easy when somebody is giving you like your schedules just aren't matching. Hey, send me a picture of your open times and let me see what I can do. Because if they don't even know their own schedule, if they're like, oh, I can only do the 12th, the 18th, or the 20th, and you're like, okay, well, I have shit going on the 12th and the 18th. I could probably make the 20th work. You can move your shit if you want to. If you don't, then don't do it. But if you're like, oh, it's just this stupid little thing on the 20th I didn't want to really do anyway, and I want to make dollars instead, then you can change your schedule. But I want you guys to know your schedule and be in charge of it first. During the winter, if there's a snowstorm, oh no, if there's a snowstorm, it's a blizzard, you obviously aren't going to be going to do your party, because I don't want you to wreck, you don't want to be unsafe or anything like that. So switching them to live parties, there's actually a document in Dropbox that is literally about how to switch a party from in-person to live because of weather. You can do it live straight from your house. You can reschedule if they're willing to reschedule. Now, if they're like, oh, we're already here, like we're already all here, then doing a live watch party is fine. But knowing ahead of time, like when they go to reschedule, you need to know your dates when you message them about rescheduling. Hey, there's a blizzard. I can't get out of my driveway. I'm not gonna be able to get out of my driveway for the next 5 hours. And I see that you're also stuck at home. So why don't we just call this a wash, and why don't we pick out a new date? She'll be like, okay. You need to immediately rebook that date. The longer you give her to think about it, the longer she's just not gonna do it, right? You have a higher chance of her just going, why don't we just cancel and wait until after winter's over? And you're like, no, winter parties are my favorite because we don't have anything else to do. We don't have anything else going on. So if girls are wanting to have parties, they're wanting to get together with their friends, they just don't have an excuse to, because there's not a concert or whatever going on. There's just Mother Nature gets the final decision, right? So you want to make sure that you're 100% in control of your schedule and that you know which dates you're going to be working. It's really nice to attend the plan class, because I know what my open dates are from now until January. Like, you should have a calendar with your open dates for the next 2 months already set up. But during the plan, we actually set up most of your open dates in your calendar all the way throughout the year. So I know automatically December 19th, I'm not doing a party. I know that November 20th, 21st, 22nd, I'm not doing a party this year. That's because it's around my kid's birthday. But if it's mid-November, if it's already the beginning of November, and she's like, how about next Wednesday? I might not think, oh, it's the 21st, that's my kid's birthday. I might just go, yes. You know what I mean? So make sure that you have your dates all ready to go. Make sure that you have it logged however you need to have it logged. you need to have that calendar for them to pick from, which is completely separate from your usual calendar. I have a calendar set up on my iPhone that's specifically for party dates. So I know from the click of a button which party dates are open for me. It just says party. And when I book a party for that night, I change the title name from party to their name. You can also pre-set up Facebook events. And then when they book that date, you just go in and change the title to, instead of blank is having a pure romance party, you can say Alicia is having a pure romance party and set it up right then for them, because the event's already set up, the description's already in there, all that good stuff. And you can make multiple all in a row. So I want you guys to make the money that you want to make, but do it on the days that you want to make that money. I don't want to see you guys compromising or dealing with what is considered a hard summer. I love summers. I love winters. I love all seasons. They all have their perks. I do weekday parties only, unless it's a bachelorette or a birthday party, from May to August. Now I start opening up my weekends once school starts back up, and then because moms need their times, and then I will only do weekend parties for a few weeks. You know what I mean? So you want to make sure that you control your calendar and that you're partying on the days you want to party. If you have any questions on maybe how to word something, if they're trying to reschedule because of weather and you don't know how to make them just keep the party, things like that, send me a message. I will absolutely take care of you. I think that's it. Okay, bye.